Let me ease you into a new meme here. I don't know if you saw this report. I was astounded about the report, and I was going to do a whole kind of a whole segment about it, but then I found that that some mainstream media actually picked up on it as well. And this is the new meme when it comes to drones. The double tap.
U.S. drone strikes.
The double tap. Actually, I have a pretty good clip summarizing this.
Yeah, well, I'm actually playing a clip which you're just talking right through. So, why don't you shut up, or I can play the clip?
I can't hear a thing. Here we go on.
Well, let's fix that then. Why can't you hear it? I don't understand.
I'm not hearing the clip. I'm hearing you.
Hold on. Do you hear my clips at all?
I heard the two shots. The double tap.
Do you hear this? Listen, do you hear this?
U.S. drone strikes in northwestern Pakistan are frequently killing and injuring rescue.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Well, then be quiet.
In so-called double tap strikes. That's where follow-up strikes target a location that's just been hit. And all this is according to a new report from two leading American universities. Now, the supposed targets are Al-Qaeda and Taliban militants, but the authors conclude that many of those hit are low-level and not at all senior commanders. Well, our correspondent Orla Girin is in the Pakistan capital, Islamabad, and she's been looking at the findings.
It is a substantial report by two respected American universities. The research was commissioned by the UK legal charity Reprieve, which campaigns against drones, but the findings are independent. Now, the study says basically that drones are damaging and counterproductive to US security interests. It says strikes that kill hundreds of low-level fighters are of dubious security value to the United States. It says the number of senior militants killed in these strikes is only about 2%, and it calls on the US to review the policy. It also says the US government is very reluctant to admit that there are civilian casualties, although there is significant evidence that this is the case. And it highlights that practice of so-called double tap strikes, where there are repeated strikes at a single location, and the follow-on strikes are killing rescuers, first responders and locals who go to the scene. Now, that has resulted in people being too afraid to go and help the injured and the dying. One local humanitarian organisation is said to now have a 6-hour mandatory wait before they go to the scene of a drone strike.
So I find this very, very interesting. The phrase double tap is, I think, in most recent popular culture, is known from Zombieland as the only surefire way to kill a zombie is by double tap, 2 taps to the head. But of course, we've been using the 2 to the head meme for quite a while. And I wonder, does it not really diminish the whole idea of a Hellfire missile coming down out of the sky and blowing you up? Is that like double tap? Is it?
Well, it seems to me, for one thing, this is sick. Let's start with that premise.
Thank you.
And so what they do is they blow up somebody's house and kill whoever, a bunch of kids and whoever's in there. Now that they've got documented, that has been documented for a while, that they're not really killing anybody important. Because what are they doing out in the middle of nowhere? So then within a few minutes, when people go rushing to help the wounded, like, let's say it was a Red Cross truck, they go rushing in there to help the wounded. They kill them too, just as a joke.
That's
pretty
cool.
Point of the second shot.
Just clean up.
Rescuers.
Just clean up.
Hey, they're trying to help the guys. Let's kill them.
Let's just clean up.
It's very, very, it's sick. It's sick. But then again, we have the Obama's kill list, and he supposedly gets to watch all the videos, and according to Ulsterman and others, and he watches the videos of this. It's, there's about time. Look at the rescuers coming in. Let's blast
go
it
now,
again.
Go now, go. And meanwhile,
it's just really nauseating. And the fact that nobody cares, Obama's a character. Got a great smile, that Obama.
Hey, and then we have David Cameron talking about how horrible the children are treated there in Syria. How come no one goes and says, hey, these Americans, this president of yours, he's double tapping kids and rescuers and just killing everybody over there. How come none of that is there? Why are we not outraged by this? Why?
I'm outraged by it.
Oh, you're not.
I am. I'm totally outraged by it. It's funny. I thought your report was going to be the exact same one. It's a funny parallel report to the one I have, which we might as well play, which is the BBC version of the exact same report, which is probably another 10 seconds longer than yours.
I'm sorry, what's the title of it? Because I can't seem to find it.
Oh, it's called
Good BBC Drone Report. So we're both in line with each other, as usual. Here we go.
US drone strikes in northwest Pakistan are frequently injuring not only civilians but their rescuers in what are known as double tap strikes. That's where follow-up strikes target a location that's just been hit. So says a new report from Stanford and New York universities. The actual targets are Al-Qaeda and Taliban militants. But the authors conclude that many of those hit are low-level operatives, not senior commanders. The BBC's Ola Garin has more from Islamabad.
Well, this report reaches damning conclusions about the CIA drone program. It says it's counterproductive and damaging, that it's killing very few senior leaders, and that it is terrorizing an entire community in the process. Now, according to the authors, senior militants account for only an estimated 2% of drone victims. But they paint a picture of an entire community living in paralyzing fear, men, women and children looking up at the skies overhead, wondering when death is going to come raining down. They say that many people are too afraid to attend gatherings like weddings and funerals in case they're targeted. They say some parents are afraid to send their children to school, or the children themselves are too traumatized to go. One humanitarian worker previously based in the US compared the level of fear in Waziristan with the fear in New York after 9/11. The report also highlights the risk to rescuers. It says the practice of carrying out follow-up strikes means that those who go to give assistance after a strike can be killed themselves. Now, the majority of those killed in drone attacks are believed to be suspected militants, but independent researchers say that several hundred civilians are also counted among the dead. US officials say the drones are surgically precise, that they limit collateral damage. This report says that claim is false, but either way, the administration is expected to continue using these weapons here and elsewhere.